Hi, everyone. It's Melanie Warner here. Welcome to Defining Moments TV. We have a very, very special show today. For those of you trying to keep warm, I know many of you have gone through some winter months of your own, maybe mentally, maybe physically, maybe emotionally. The spring is coming, but for these two, their winters are much longer than most, and they have a very exciting business that is all about dog sleds. So if you've ever wanted to go and see what it's like to ride on a dog sled and be a musher, this is your lucky day. And not only are you going to hear about their own journey for their competitions with their family, with their dogs, you're going to hear about a new book that they wrote and a really special opportunity. So stay with us till the end to hear about the special offers that they have for you today. Please welcome to the show, Tanya, McCready, and Hank DeBruin. Welcome, welcome.
Hello.
Hi, Melanie. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. So, I'm here, I'm holding your book in my hands. I love it. It's beautiful. You guys did such an amazing job. And I have to tell you, when I started reading this, I felt like I got to know you both as a couple. And the thing I kept thinking is, it's amazing how well you guys work together as a team. So tell us a little bit about this journey. How did this business come about? How did the book come to fruition? And how in the heck do you do all of this as a couple?
We do pretty well as a couple. This whole thing started, it would be almost 25 years ago now. We
Wow.
walked to a mall and saw a pet store, and this little red and white husky was bolting around the pet store, and we had no intention of getting a dog. We just got married and went and played with her, had so much fun with her, and went back the next 2 nights. And at the end of the third visit, Colt came home with us, and that one decision changed the entire trajectory of our lives. So fast forward, we weren't all that happy in the jobs or living in cities because we grew up on farms. And at that point, we had 7 dogs living in our house, and we'd go out on weekends in the evenings to dog sled with them just for fun. And one of our friends said, why don't you start a dog sled tour business? Start, turning what you love into a lifestyle and a business. And you were like, that would be amazing. Yeah. And so we quit our jobs and rented out our house and moved to the wilderness and started Winter Dance dog sled tours. And that was 21 years ago. And
You make it sound so easy. Oh my gosh. Like, let's move to the wilderness and start a dog sled business. Like, I'm sure it wasn't that simple, you guys. Come on.
No.
It has moments. But,
well, and recently, because of the pandemic and everything, you guys have lost quite a bit of business because you rely heavily on tourism and people being able to fly out there and do this experience. So how have you been able to survive in the last year with everything going on?
I think really, the last year has been very unique, but there's a lot of similarities between other challenges, like that first fall when we moved to Halliburton and had no house to live in. And everything that could have gone wrong that fall went wrong. We welcomed our first child, with no house. And anyway, that's a whole other maybe book or story. But the way we got through that was supporting each other. So we often said that, if I was down, Hank was seeing the big picture and the vision. Like he was saying, come on, like this is where we're going. It's all going to be worth it. And days that he was having a hard time, I was the one that this is what we've dreamed of. It's going to be amazing. It's tough now, but we'll get through it. And when you've run 1,000-mile races, that's how we've got through them, focusing on our strengths and where we want to go and not looking at too big a picture, chunking it down to what we can do today, what we can do this week, what we can do in the next hour. And that's how we've got through this year, was, paint a big vision, a big dream of where we want to go, how we can get through this, but then look at what we can do today to make things better rather than focusing on what we can't control. And what we
right. And preparing for the future. I think that's the thing, when hope and seeing the future gives people more hope, because we realize all these things, the circumstances are temporary, and it doesn't feel like it because it's been so long and we've all been so shut down as a society and feel like maybe robbed of all the joy of travel and music and crowds and things that we love and the energy from other people. And, you guys are building this incredible kind of oasis in Canada where people can come and stay at your place, kind of creating this little, almost like a mini village where they can come and have this entire experience. Like, I can see how clear your vision is. And I think that's also really important, to stay focused on what's happening next and not, if you feel stuck right where you are, It's being able to see the opportunities, like shifting to do virtual dog sled tours. I know we did one with my kids on Christmas Eve, and we had such a blast because we're sitting in California. We had a home near Yosemite, and we're all nice and cozy, and even had our dog, our blue dog, there with us, and hot chocolate, and we could watch this virtual dog sled. And it's funny, we could hear and feel like we were there. It was so the crunchy of the snow. You could see the fox tracks, and it was like this really cool adventure, and we needed that so badly because we haven't been able to travel in so long. And it made us want to come there in person. Like, we can't wait to come out and visit you guys. And now they're interested in this, and like it's something they hadn't really thought about before. So are you finding that in spite of not being able to have actual visitors, the virtual side is just intriguing people to want more?
It is. And, when you first suggested it, and Paul was like, who's going to pay to do virtual dog sledding? And I mean, people are. But even more than that, we saw it as something we could do to help our revenue until we could welcome guests. But now it's being shown in seniors' residences. And, we're hearing feedback. They're saying like, oh my gosh, the seniors, especially the men who apparently don't usually engage in these things, are saying, I always wanted to do this. Now I felt like I got the chance. Or somebody else yesterday emailed and said, oh my gosh, one of my residents was like, oh man, that took me back to a wonderful memory. So being able to share what we do with people who never will probably get to come and see us in person and experience it, that's pretty cool that we get to give that to people too.
That is really neat. And I love the pictures. Like, there's a picture of you, Hank, in there, when you finish this race, and you have ice in your beard, and it just looks so, you look so freezing cold but so determined. So tell us about that process. I mean, most people can't even imagine walking or running 1,000 miles, but taking a journey of 1,000 miles on a dog sled with all these live animals who need to be fed, who need to be rested, with all these rules, and it's freezing cold. Tell us about that journey. I mean, what makes a person want to do that?
Um,
You get asked that a lot.
maybe a couple cards short of a full deck. No, it's how would you say it? When you decide to do it, you look at the overall picture, figure it all out. That's all done months before you even start. And once you start, you just break it down into short pieces. You never look beyond the next spot you're gonna give your dogs a snack, or the next spot that you're gonna rest the dogs and yourself. You never look beyond that. You just say, okay, I'm gonna get to point B. Figure it out from there. In whiteout blizzards, I don't know. You just
You always say you just live in the moment.
you live the moment, and that's unfortunately, I honestly think most people aren't able to do that nowadays because of how hectic our life is. That's what I love about these races, is you actually live in the moment. You forget everything else. I forget what's happening at home. I forget
Well,
everything.
there was a
Live the
scene in
moment.
the book. I don't want to give away too much because you guys have to read this book. It especially those of you yearning for an adventure and you feel like you can't go anywhere. This will make you feel like you're there. When we were reading it, I was talking to my kids about your experience with, I can't even imagine being there in this beautiful environment in nature, and watching the Aurora Borealis and all of these other things transform right in front of you. And just that moment must have been so magical, even for the dogs, to realize how special that was. And it made my kids start going and researching it and saying, we want to go do this. We want to go see this. And like, just you sharing your experience made other people want to change their own life experience. Like, how does that feel to know that things you're doing have impact on thousands of people, and even millions of people?
That's Tanya's part of it.
She's the rainmaker,
Yeah,
the snowmaker.
yeah, like, we never even thought about writing a book about any of this 10 years ago.
But it's pretty cool. I mean, like, we've had people come up to us and say they've quit their jobs and they've started a business
Yeah.
because they've read our books or followed what we've done. And I mean, there's a musher that runs the Quest in Iditarod now that lives in the Yukon, but his home is half south of us. And apparently, as a child, he went on one of our dog sled tours. And that
Wow.
sparked his, imagination and his passion.
Yeah.
And now he's a full-time musher in the Yukon and has been on some of the, reality TV shows. And so it's crazy to think that the business that you do and just share your passion literally has changed people's lives. It's incredible.
Well,
Um,
and you've certainly had your own 1,000-mile journey, just with your family and your business and all these things going on in the world, and you're still here and stronger than ever. And now this is your second book. So you've had two books that have come out. You guys have sold thousands of copies. You've got a following. You've got people that love what you do. For the people that don't know who you are and what you do, tell us a little bit more about this particular book. And by the way, this is the print launch. So the ebook came out in December. So basically you have a choice today. You can go into the links below and you can buy the ebook, you can buy the print book. So tell us a little bit about this journey and making this book.
this journey, well, the first book we wrote, as you said, right at that 10-year mark, and shared Hank's first 1,000-mile race, the Iditarod. And it didn't end well, not to ruin the ending of that book, but it didn't go as planned. And our fans were asked for the second book for a very, very long time, because during the 1,000 miles, the Yukon Quest was a wonderful adventure, but had a wonderful ending. And when COVID hit, we're like, gosh, we need to creative as far as COVID streams, or as far as revenue streams. So that's what got us thinking, we've got to write this second book that people have been asking for. And so I had started the book, and Melanie, you and I are part of KBB, and to learn how to market and create income online. And I had reached out to some of the people in the community and just said, we've got this book we're writing, and we'd like it to reach a much bigger impact and an audience than our first one did. And that's how we met you. And my gosh, you are brilliant as far as knowing how to market books and get them on Amazon and bestsellers. And it was almost a year ago we started talking about this, and just wanted the book to do well. Never even dreamed of it being an international bestseller. And here we stand, 11 months later, and you've helped us accomplish that. So,
Oh, thank you. Well, you guys did all the work. Like I say, all we do is we give you the glue to put the pieces together and make your own masterpiece. But you definitely did the work, and you guys deserve all the success that you're having. Congratulations on all of this. I also love the fact that you do a lot of corporate things, like, for corporate events, for corporations that are looking for team building exercises, sales training, motivational speaking about the team building experience. What it takes to actually lead this kind of team in this type of journey. There's a lot of similarities in the business side for people that have employees. And I love the fact that you can create this as a sales incentive for their employees to go out and do something really fun and something special. And we've talked about this within our own company as having this be an opportunity or something for people to strive towards as a reward once you can open and go back out there and physically do this. So how does that work? And are you guys going out and doing public speaking? Are you doing virtual public speaking right now? How would someone hire you to speak if they want you to talk to their employees about team building?
for sure, we have been doing a lot of virtual. We didn't even know what Zoom was 6 months ago, and now we're on Zoom 5. But so yeah, we have been doing a lot of presentations. Gosh, across the board. Military, corporate, service clubs, schools, just sharing, overcoming challenges, leadership, teamwork. Because as much as this is an adventure and a story, as you know, Melanie, there's so many life lessons in it about how to lead teams and build amazing teams, and how to get through challenges, and the mindset of a leader, right? Because that's what you do to run 1,000 miles when we break it all down.
Yeah, you do most of the speaking. I can't.
You share the stories.
I share the stories. I can't. How do you say it?
We make a great team.
Yeah.
Well, that's the best way to say it.
Yeah.
So I know that you guys have special gifts today and special offers. Tell us a little bit about what people can expect if they get the book today, they buy the print book today. What are some of the special offers that you're giving to people for this launch?
Absolutely. So for launch weekend, anybody that sends us their order number, we've got autographed copies that we're going to be giving away, and some of our delicious Winter Dance maple syrup that should be starting to flow in the next couple weeks.
I have mine right here as well. It's awesome. It's really good.
It is good, and our puppy's on the front. So we'll be giving some of that away and some of our hoodies. So just if you
Oh,
buy
and
them,
it says family tradition since the 1930s. So that's pretty special. Like I've never had Canadian maple syrup, but it's really good on my Canadian bacon.
Well, your grandfather started making syrup in the 30s
in the Great
during
Depression.
the Depression because sugar was hard to get. So he started making maple syrup to as a sweetener.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Wow, that's amazing. And now look at, you're still innovating on almost 100 years later.
Yeah. No,
it's
it's
crazy. Yeah.
we're a little more modern. It's not buckets where you pipeline it.
Yeah.
Big evaporator, but
it's still a work of love.
yeah.
I love them working.
Well, I don't know.
So this is our,
fun.
this is this century's version of the Roaring Twenties that we're going through right now. Isn't that crazy to think about?
Yeah.
And in some ways, we've had to overcome very similar things between the Spanish flu and now COVID, like that a lot of our ancestors had to go through, and we can see the history of how they persevered, what they did. And I think this is interesting to see, like that your relative did this and had to innovate during the Great Depression. And here you are doing the same thing almost 100 years later and finding a way to survive and thrive, not just get by, but to thrive in spite of this global pandemic and stick together, keep your relationship strong, keep your family in one piece, keep your business going. Like it's a lot, and taking care of all the dogs. So I commend you both. You obviously are a strong team and you've built an amazing business and you have some incredible stories to share. And I'm glad that you took the time to chronicle them in this book, because I think people are going to be really excited when they read this. It's a lot of fun. So even if you love to read fiction and you like adventure books, like this is a nonfiction, it's all true stories about a musher and his huskies journey on the Yukon quests, century-old Klondike trails, and you get to hear bit by bit every piece of that journey. It's exciting and you won't be able to put it down. So make sure you click below, get a copy of the book. And if you want to join our Defining Moments book club, it's free. You get a chance to meet some of these amazing authors, interact, read their books, ask them questions. So Tanya will be one of our guests in the next few months on our book club. Make sure you get her book and their book and read it so that you'll be able to talk to them and ask questions and interact and engage. And if you are interested in writing your own book and you want to go through this process just like Hank and Tanya did, you can click on the link below to apply to work with our company or even watch our free masterclass training. It's a 2-hour training that'll give you an overview of the industry, and it really helps you understand why there's so much opportunity in self-publishing versus waiting for someone to give you permission to publish your book. You have the ability to do what these guys did and take the bull by the horns, or take the sled with the dogs and just go for it and go and mush it. And so we love doing that. It's what we do. It's like our passion, and it's so much fun to see all of our authors not only surviving but thriving in these uncertain times. So thank you guys so much. Is there anything else that you want to share with our viewers today?
I think lastly, we've got a promotion for a month, so till the end of March, that anybody that buys the book and shares on social media and hashtags Journey of 1,000 Miles, tag Winter Dance, you're going to be entered into a chance to come dog sledding with us in person for free next winter.
That's amazing.
So we're excited to give that away. And until the end of March as well, every book that we sell, every paperback, $1 of that is going to be put towards the Yukon Quest and the Iditarod. We'll split proceeds 50-50, the two big 1,000-mile dog sled races. And our goal is
Wow.
1,000 miles to give $1,000 to each race is our goal by the end of March. So for every book sold, $1 will go to help those races keep on creating amazing adventures and experiences for mushers and their huskies.
That's exciting. And, for people to not only be able to read the story and feel like they're part of the process, now they can actually really help someone else have that experience and that bucket list item for so many people that are training for this type of event. That's exciting. Well, thank you for doing that. That's very, very generous of you. And I love that you want to give back to other people that are supporting your endeavors as well, which is obviously, true to your character of what I've seen of you and known of you guys, and the grit that it takes to get this done, to do, not only to finish the race and this journey, but to finish the book, because so many people talk about writing a book, but they talk about it for 20 years, 30 years, but they never actually do it. And you guys did it. And you did it in a pretty short amount of time. Like by the time you actually wrote it, finished it, I mean, it's taken us a little bit of time, obviously, to edit it and get it ready. And you have the ebook launch, and now here's the print launch. So on to audiobook. That'll be our next journey together, which will be fun. So I am excited for you guys. Congratulations on everything that you're doing. And thank you for being here with us today. And you guys, good luck to everything you're doing. Please keep us posted and updated in our tribe about all of your adventures. And we'll definitely be watching you as well.
Awesome. Well, thanks for everything you did to help us make this a reality and put a book in our hands, Melanie.
Yeah,
Oh,
thanks.
absolutely. Absolutely. I'm just so proud of you guys. And good luck on your end. Try to stay warm. Give the puppies all a hug from us here in California and the US. And you guys have a wonderful day, and congratulations on your launch. Enjoy it. Have fun. And we will catch you guys on the next episode. So take care, everybody. Thanks for joining us today.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.